everybody. This is Chris.
And Ryan.
And we're here to give you a quick rundown of the core mechanic rules of combat in Mutants and Masterminds. Okay, so we're going to start off with skill checks. If you've played another RPG game, chances are you've done this before. If not, hey, this is your chance to learn. Skill checks happen when you need to
do anything, pretty much.
Do anything in the world. They go acrobatics, athletics, they have deception, they have insight, intimidation, sleight of hand, stealth. And how you would make a skill check is, say you want to look around. You say to your game master, I'd like to do a perception check to see what is around me. You would roll a d20, and for all of our rolls, I think we're just going to say it's 10 to make it simple math. You'd roll a d20. If you get a 10, and you have 10 as your perception check, you add those together, you would have 20 as your perception check.
Yeah, and then based on what you rolled, the game master was, okay, with that kind of a roll, this is what you see. He has a predetermined number in his head for certain items in the room that are certain difficulties to see, whatever. If something is like really difficult, is really hidden, you would need maybe a 25 or a 30 to see it. So he would describe everything else but that you saw, and okay, that's what you see in this room.
Most of your skill checks are going to be with the world. They're going to be climbing up stuff. They're going to be analyzing what you see in a room, looking around the room with investigate. Mm-hmm. But there's a different kind of skill check that you use when talking to NPCs or other characters, and that's called an opposed skill check. When two characters might have different motives, they would make opposed skill checks. If one character is trying to hide and one character is trying to find them, one of the characters would roll a stealth roll and the other would roll a perception, and whoever has the higher roll would win out. Yeah. So if the person has a higher stealth roll, the other player wouldn't be able to see them.
Yeah.
If he has a higher perception roll, he would be able to detect the stealth guy.
Yeah. That happens at one point in season 2 where you'll get about basically Chris walks into a room, and I'm so stealthy he doesn't see me, is essentially how that works. And yeah, there's also things like if you're talking with someone and someone's trying to hide something from you and you're questioning him, basically that person would be rolling a deception check, whereas you would be rolling an insight check, I believe?
Yes.
Yeah, so those are two skills that would then oppose each other, and whoever's the higher number would be able to then succeed in their check.
So yeah, that's the basis of skill checks, and now we'll move on to combat. What we're going to do is walk you through how combat is done. I think it's probably the most different thing of the systems when you compare it to other ones. Mm-hmm. So combat happens, you run into a guy, he says, let's fight, and you say, okay, jerk. So first of all, you're rolling initiative, and initiative comes from your...
Dexterity, I believe.
No, agility.
Is it agility?
Yes, or maybe it comes from one of your skills. I think it's agility.
Well, I know D&D comes with dexterity. Maybe I'm just in that mindset.
Yeah. So, say you have a 5 agility. That's your initiative. If you don't have any other factors, and you roll a 10, you have 15. So now it depends on who rolls higher or lower, and the highest rolls get to go first, the lower rolls get to go after.
It's like you're taking initiative in the battle.
Exactly.
I wonder why they call it that.
Oh, God. They are really good at naming things. Okay, so initiative has been rolled. The lineup has been set out. We'll call him Bad Guy 1, Good Guy 2. Bad Guy 1 gets to go first, unfortunately. We're going to put ourselves in the shoes of Good Guy 2, just because we think highly of ourselves.
I'm a pretty good guy.
So, Bad Guy 1 wants to attack. He has a weapon that he can attack with, and he gets a +5 bonus to attack with. So he'd do an attack roll. So what he would do is he'd roll, he gets a 10, and so his attack roll is 15. Good Guy 2 has a defense. Now, whether Bad Guy 1 is attacking from range or up close determines what defense he is attacking.
Yeah.
If he is attacking up close, he is attacking your parry, which derives from your fighting skill. Mm-hmm. If he is attacking from afar, he's attacking your dodge, which comes from your agility.
Yeah, and so each of those scores is different, whereas, in other games it's like you have one armor check score, and that's your armor period. With this, it's very different because they're two different styles of combat. So yeah, if the guy attacks, his attack is 15, let's say that, a good guy has a defense of 16, they miss, or because it's close, your game master could describe it as you block the attack. It basically just means you don't get hurt.
Yeah. So he misses. Then he also has a move action in this turn. So he runs away like a coward because why not? Mm-hmm. Good guy 2's turn. It's his turn in the initiative. He runs up to the bad guy who's running away. He makes his attack. He has a close attack bonus of, let's say, 6. He rolls a 10, so his attack is 16. The bad guy's parry, he only has 14. So he hits. Now
we roll for damage.
What we do with damage rolls is every character has a stat in their defense called Toughness. And Toughness is how much you can take a hit, how much you can absorb a punch, how much you can keep going. So if you are hit in the game, unless it is attacking your will or fortitude, you will most likely have to take a Toughness roll. And what that is each character's attack has a certain damage to it, and that will come up as their CR, DR?
DC.
DC, yes.
Yeah, DC.
Each character has a certain power to attack, and that will come up as a DC that the other player has to hit. So let's say Good Guy 2's DC for his attack is a 20, and Bad Guy number 1 has a 5 Toughness.
Yeah.
He rolls, he gets 10, he rolls under the DC, so he's going to take damage.
Yeah.
Now, with this game, for every 5 ranks, you get an extra penalty. So if he had just failed by a bit, he'd take a -1 to his Toughness. So now instead of rolling with 5 Toughness, he's only rolling 4, and he's only adding 4 to his dice roll.
Yeah, for any future hits. But because he failed by 5 points, okay, so let's say, so technically it's right on the verge of the 2nd degree, so I believe, I can't remember what the exact thing is, because Bergen's always the one who game mastering takes care of that. But you would then take -1, and then you would also be staggered, I believe, which means you only have 1 action available to you. Basically, the more you fail by, the less you can do next turn until you kind of recover.
Yes. So with attacks, let's say bad guy number 1 runs away and he pulls, he runs away and he shoots a fireball out of his hand. That is now a ranged attack, so that would test our hero's dodge.
This is a fireball, so it's also a power attack then, right?
Sure, it doesn't matter. I'm just going by it. So he's just doing a ranged attack. That would challenge, instead of the good guy's parry, it would challenge his dodge. And depending on how you build your character, those might be 2 different numbers. They probably will be. And so you might have a strength or a weakness. So if you're better at parry, you might want to get up and close. If you're better at dodge, you might want to stay farther away. There's 2 other defenses besides dodge and parry, which are fortitude and will. And fortitude, I'm just going to bring it up. It's kind of like being poisoned.
Yeah, it's it's kind of like, think of it as your immune system. Is how well your body can fight off foreign, intrusions into itself.
Yeah,
kind of like that.
So let's say bad guy has a beaker of poisonous acid. Sure, why not?
Yep.
He throws it on the ground. Your character has to make a fortitude save against it. The fortitude save will have a DC that you have to hit. Let's say our hero has 7. The fortitude save is 16. He rolls. He gets a 10. He beats the fortitude save, so he's okay.
He is okay, yeah. And then for will, the will is kind of like your mental strength. Like the classic example that I've heard used for this is if someone's trying to mind control you, then basically you would roll a will save against the DC of this mind controlling power, and then whoever has the higher number in the end wins out.
Yeah,
basically.
So is that it?
Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because we talked about we talked about that toughness is basically your health. When you run out of toughness, you're basically out of the game. You're dead.
Yeah. There's some people who can one of the powers is absorption, so they could take some of your ability scores and take it from you. And since your defenses and your toughness and your fortitude and will are connected to your attributes, if they absorb 5 agility from you, and you have a dodge of 5, that is drained by your agility score. So now you have no dodge, and they can hit you.
And with toughness and fortitude, they're both affected by stamina. So if someone drains all your stamina, you pretty much are just like a lifeless.
Yeah, a little sitting duck.
Yeah, you can't do anything until someone literally just comes up, maybe cuts your throat. I don't know.
God. Yeah. Yeah. So that's pretty much the core mechanics. If you have any other questions, you can reach us at witstowarriors@hotmail.com or check us out on our website, witstowarriors.weebly.com, or if we bought the domain, witstowarriors.com. Thanks, guys. Take care.
See you later.